Hey y'all, welcome back to Tobacco Leaf Legacies. I'm Cheryl and we are going on a road trip. Let's go. All right, so the reason that we are going on this road trip, my niece's 40th birthday is coming up, and so I'm just kind of doing a quick trip up to North Carolina to help celebrate and then turning around and coming right back. And let me know how y'all are with road trips. I don't want to say it's a race like you're going to be speeding, but are you interested in seeing how quickly you can get there? Are you more of a, yeah, we get there when we get there kind of person? I've been a mixture of both. I've made so many trips. But today, let's see, it's almost 10 o'clock. I'm getting a pretty late start. I had to go pick up the rental car this morning. My van needs a little bit of work, and I didn't want to, take the chance with it, on a longer road trip. So we got a rental car and had to get that this morning. But I will say that I'm not in that big of a hurry. I am in the mode of, I get there when I get there. Not too concerned about it. I guess it's a little bit different because, this is going to be the first trip where I'm not going to my grandparents' house. And it makes a difference because usually when we would get to that, when I would get to that house, it had been closed up for a time period. Everything was off, have to turn everything on, that kind of thing. And now, I'm going to stay with my niece for the next couple days. So kind of doesn't matter. I get there when I get there. I do have, let's see. Let me flip this around so I can show you. I've got treats. Do y'all bring treats? I always have treats with me in the car that I can munch on. When I'm traveling, I am not really a let's stop and sit down and eat kind of person. I'd much rather just keep going, just get something to munch on and go about my day. So anyway, I just figured I would kind of let you know what we're doing and why, and just thought I'd take you with me. And I'll probably stop at the rest areas on the way up, like the official or welcome centers, I guess they are, and show you those. I'm sure I will be stopping at south of the border because you know me, I love me some south of the border. Did you see my video? I did a video on it. Go watch it. So, all right, I'm going to turn up the tunes, drive, and I'll be back. Time for a break. That's something that I have to remind myself of is that sometimes you need to stop and you need to get out and walk around for a few minutes and take a break. I'm really bad about, excuse me, I just want to get in the car and go. I just want to go. Yeah, and then, back hurts and everything else. So anyway, we're at a little shop here, and so we're going to go in, kill a few minutes, and then we'll get back on the road. I pretty much listen to the 40s through the 80s. Like that's my time period of music. There's some stuff here and there after that, but for the most part, I do not listen to current music. Do y'all listen to current music? I do not. Speaking of music, I was going to tell you, and singing to the songs and stuff. Did I ever tell you that I sang karaoke with Micky Dolenz of the Monkees.
Here we come, walking down the street.
Did I ever tell you that? The Monkees is my all-time number one favorite group. I've met all of them, had experiences with all of them. I have amazing stories. I mean, I really do. I have just absolutely amazing stories. But one of the more recent ones was I got to sing karaoke with Micky. It was a thing that he did. He does a lot for charity. And so it was a thing that, you sign up for, you pay for the whole bit. And then you wait your turn and you go sing with him. And it was funny. It's the first and only time so far that I've ever done karaoke. Was with Micky. It's funny. I will, when I'm editing the video, I will put some pictures here and I'll put a little snippet and share with you when I sang with him. That, needless to say, that's definitely one of the highlights in my life. I know this little place up here isn't much to look at right now with the old cars and everything, but I'm going to tell you a funny story about it. That place has been there, I mean, as long as I can remember. I'm sure before that. And of course, it was, a regular little store. And it looks like, it's probably kind of hard to see in the video, but it looks like that, like one day they just closed the doors and left it, and it's just remained that way ever since, which is really kind of sad. Of course, it also makes me very curious because it makes me want to go in and see how everything was left. But the story is that when I was little, and when I say little, I only remember going in there this one time. So even though we drove by it all the time when we went to North Carolina, we didn't go in it all the time. But we stopped this time and we were walking around, and y'all, I had to have been in, I don't know, elementary school. Okay, so I mean, I wasn't little like, 3 years old, but young, okay, elementary school age. And so I remember going in there and walking around, and it's just a small little place. And this coffee mug caught my attention. And I was like, oh, okay, that's cool. And if I'm remembering correctly, it had, because this memory is very, vivid to me. I picked up the coffee mug, and I think what caught my attention initially was that it had astrology signs on it. Okay, so I saw Aquarius and Capricorn and that kind of thing. So that caught my attention, and I was like, oh, this is cool. And I kept looking at it. Okay, y'all, the mug, it was a white mug, and it had the stuff that was on the mug was black. And aside from the words of the astrology signs, the other images, we'll call it, that were on it was different positions, if you know what I'm talking about. And now again, I was young, so while I understood sort of what I was looking at the same time, I kind of didn't. You know what I mean? I knew it was, I guess I somehow knew it was naughty, but you know, you're a kid, so you don't get the full understanding. But I remember, I mean, I stood there looking at that mug for a while. And it's funny because the parents never, you know, they weren't paying attention to what I was doing or whatever. So it's not like mom saw me and then went, oh, what are you doing? You know, you shouldn't be looking at that, you know, kind of thing. Nope. I picked it up and I was studying it and checking it out, and and I still remember that. And I'll tell you what, if I found that mug in a store again or on eBay or something like that, I'd buy it. Yep, just because. Hello, Georgia. Nice to see you again. Thought I would tell you a couple stories since I'm driving. Tell you a couple road stories. These are a couple stories that Dad would tell people. When him and Mom first got married and they were traveling, they would often travel like through the night. I've never been the kind of person to do that, but when they were younger, she would sleep and Dad would drive, and you know, that kind of thing. And the story is that they were going through a small town, and Dad was a speeder. I mean, there's like no two ways about that. Dad was a speeder. And so the story goes that he would tell, it was the middle of the night, and he was hauling tail, we'll call it, through one of these small towns. No traffic, no cars, no nothing. But he came upon a cop, and he saw him coming, he saw him sitting, and he says, I was going so fast that there was no reason for me to even begin to try to slow down. You know, the cop would have known. And so he says, I just flashed my high beams at him and just kept right on going. And that always kind of made me laugh. I was like, seriously, the cop didn't come after you? He's like, nope, nothing. So that's one story. And this other story is kind of funny for a different reason. He got pulled over for speeding, and he essentially lied to the cop and said that his speedometer was not working right. And I think the cop, I'm sure he probably knew he was lying. And so, kind of being, you know, a smart aleck, he was like, oh, well, I'll tell you what, have your wife drive, and, you know, you get in my car, and we'll test the speedometer. You know, he thought he was going to be slick, right? So Dad said, okay. So he got in the cop car. Mom drove whatever car they had, however distance, however long it was. And my brother was little at the time, and so he was like asleep, you know, napping in the back seat or something like that. And so when they got to wherever they got back out, and the cop was like, you know, so what did this speedometer say? And, you know, blah, blah, blah. Well, the way that conversation ended was my dad telling the cop, when I guess the cop was going to, like, I guess he was going to go ahead and, like, give him a ticket. And Dad, trying to get out of the ticket, said, well, you can go ahead and do that, but this is what I'm going to do. If you give me the ticket, I'm going to tell your superiors that you just made my wife drive without a license. Well, Mom had a license. But back then, it's not like they could look it up on the computer. I mean, this was back in the 60s, right? So there was no popping something up on the computer to look anything up. But that's how he got out of that ticket. He said, I will tell your superiors that you just made my wife drive my car, and she has no license, with my son asleep in the back seat. Basically, one smart aleck upping the other one. So I just had to tell you that. Hello, South Carolina. Nice to see you again, too. Now, that means y'all know what the next stop is. South of the border. Here I come. Here's one of my favorite south of the border signs. You see it up there? Smash hit with the car on it. 5 miles. I'm very excited. And there's my other one. This is the one that I said in the other video that my dad stopped the car so I could take a picture of. There it is, y'all. I'm so excited. Been waiting all day to get here. South of the border. Look where I am again. You know there was no way I was going by here and not trying to get up in the hat, right? I couldn't do a proper North Carolina state line photo or video, so we're doing this one. Because if you come down this little road over here at south of the border, you can get a picture. I gotta turn around now. You can get a picture with the North Carolina line sign and the South Carolina one, which is kind of fun. Again, I think I shared that in my South of the Border video, so if you haven't watched that, go check it out. Just kind of showing you here where this is. It's just this little 2-lane road down here, very easy to get to. So I'm gonna stop and get a picture with the North Carolina sign, just because. And that was kind of hard to see me. I've got my little light on right here. It's about 9:30. I left a little late this morning, so you know, getting the rental car and all that, so I knew I would be late getting in, which I am, but you know, it's okay because I'm just going straight to my niece's house, and you know, she's there, and it's all good. It is kind of interesting, you know, this is the first time that I'm coming in and I'm not going, you know, I don't have my grandmother's house to go to, and it's hard. I mean, it's hard. You know, I try not to think about it, but I mean, it's there. The other thing is that the highway that I'm on, you know, I have told you how the road split our land, and the part of the highway that went through our land, I would not drive on. I mean, I just refused to drive on it. I would go the other way, longer ways, whatever, and call me silly, but that road caused serious problems in my life, and I didn't want it, and I didn't ask for it, and so I refused to drive on it. Well, at this point, things are a little bit different, since I technically don't own the one side anymore. Now it's okay to drive on this highway part, and I don't know, that it's all weird, you know. It's just it's part of the process. It's kind of, it's getting used to the new normal, I guess, you know, if we want to call it that. So, but anyway, and I'm literally like driving kind of through the part that I would never drive on before, just right now. So anyway, for whatever that's worth, but I'm going to be at her house here in about 10 minutes, and y'all, I'm ready for bed. It's been a long day. I'm tired. So, I'll be back tomorrow for my niece's birthday. Night. Good morning. Just getting ready for the day. I've got a couple errands that I've got to do first, but wanted to show you something real quick. Peekaboo. Morning, Oliver. This is Oliver. This is one of my niece's cats. Hi, sweetheart. You gonna say hi to everybody? Say hi. Yeah. He's a handsome boy, isn't he? Very sweet. He's a cuddler for sure. The other one is a mama's boy. Say good morning, Jack. Good morning. And he's sweet. They're brothers, of course. Guess where I am? That's right. You know that I couldn't come back without coming to say hello to all of my stuff, right? Thank goodness, though, at least as far as I can tell, everything's fine. I mean, not that I think anything's gonna happen to it. I mean, it's just gotta sit here, right? But, you know, it's hard when I'm so far away and I can't just come, you know, check on it and stuff, and it's just nice to be with it again. And that can sound silly, I don't care, but not being able to go to my grandparents' house like I always have been able to has been kind of hard, of course. So it's all here. So instead of going to the house to connect with everything, since it's all here, I come here. So I'm gonna check on this. We'll go check on the outside one, and then we'll say farewell to it again for a little while longer. Aside from some spiders, all is well. So I gotta show y'all, my niece is having a house built, and she just had all the land cleared. Isn't that cool? Have y'all had a house built? It's a process. It's gonna be so awesome, and she's right near her mom's house. They've got a little path. It's so exciting.
Happy birthday to you. 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 Happy birthday to you.
Good morning. Well, that was a quick trip. But I knew that was going to be a quick trip, and it was really good to come up and celebrate my niece's birthday with her and see some other family and stuff. So that was good. But now it's time to go home. It is 7 o'clock in the morning. I do not usually get up this early, so I'm kind of not awake yet, but that's okay. Gotta go get gas, and then we're on our way. Let's see where we'll stop today before we get home. Know what time it is. You see the hat. That's right. Gotta go visit Pedro. When you get back on the highway, there's a little bitty South Carolina state sign. Bye, Pedro. Until next time, buddy. All right, y'all, we have stopped again, and I'm gonna show you why. How many of you love Buc-ee's? I've been hearing about it, seeing stuff on social media. I've never been, so we're gonna go in and check it out. Okay, so it's pretty big. There's a lot of stuff in here, but do you really need a Buc-ee's bathing suit? I mean, I don't know, do I? Okay. So many people. So loud. But it's like a mini grocery store. Now, I guess y'all that have been there, start the car, it's hot. You know how it is, like you know what to expect. I was thinking that it was just kind of a glorified, regular, you know, truck stop, travel stop, whatever you want to call it, kind of place. And I did not realize that they have put a Buc-ee's logo on everything. I mean, I don't know why you need a bathing suit with it or why you want to dress your children in Buc-ee's clothes, but I mean, can somebody explain it to me? Maybe it has a following, like maybe it has a big following and they're just kind of getting to the south, because I don't think there's another one between me and home. And I'm in South Carolina, and so I think that's it. So maybe I need to look it up. But if y'all know if there's like a history with this place or something, whoa, wow. There's a lot going on in there. There is a lot going on in there. But I mean, I will say, if you need a fun place to stop, walk around for a little bit, I mean, this is it, because they've got so much shopping stuff that I was not expecting to find. But then they've got a ton of food. They got a ton of food. So, whew, alrighty then. That was interesting. Next stop should be the Georgia Welcome Center. I think I'm gonna have a little break. Hello, Georgia. Georgia is on my mind. We're at the Georgia Welcome Center, and I can't wait to go inside and show you what this one looks like. It's absolutely beautiful, and if you're on 95, you've got to stop here. And you gotta come see Forrest when you're here. Hello, Florida. Thank you for welcoming me. What's fun about coming in here is you can get free samples. They've got orange juice, grapefruit juice, maybe something else, but I mean, did you even come to Florida if you didn't get this? All right, you know we can't do a road trip without going to Cracker Barrel, right? I love seeing what Cracker Barrel has. Is that a store that you like to stop at? Especially now because they've got all the Halloween and fall and Christmas, and that's just awesome. I love it. I have about an hour and a half left of my trip and I will be home. So I'm gonna sit here in the car for a few minutes, chill a little bit, because it always seems like this last hour and a half lasts like 3 hours. I mean, every single time, this last hour and a half is just awful. So I'm gonna get a little something extra to eat here, and I will be home soon. And I am finally turning into my neighborhood here. Whew, I've had a long day. I'm tired. But it was fun though. I liked all my stops and stuff. It has been a little bit of a whirlwind road trip, but it was okay because it was fun and got to see family and help celebrate, my niece's 40th birthday. And so that was exciting. Got to do some stops along the way. Sometimes you've just got to have a little bit of fun and be silly and just kind of let loose a little bit. And especially the last couple of years I've had with everything that has been so serious, been nice to be kind of silly and, share some funny videos and pictures and, just stuff with you of things I saw, as I was driving. So thank you for watching. I can't wait to go to bed. I cannot wait to go to bed. I'm so sleepy. That's all right though. As always, time is precious. Carpe diem. Seize the day. I'll see you next time.